weekend. But yeah, good solid play from VonAsten there, holding out that green cover.
Possibly didn't realise this rifleman was here. He backs into him, pushes him out of the circle. Well, he did realise he was here and stopped him capping. Great little bit of play from Noggano there. He's still causing it to happen. Meanwhile, it's like ducks in a barrel for the Car 98Ks, as those riflemen are very heavily bandaged now.
This is why I love the Kubel. You know, it just gives a little love shove. It's all about that positioning, forcing infantry squads to run around trying to chase it whilst, yeah, riflemen getting some good hits in early.
Foes Grenadiers pushed away. Only one rifleman died in that engagement, Ed, and that's good for VonAsten, but he will need an ambulance a lot more quickly than he otherwise would have done. Of course, this game is all about preservation. It's about keeping individual soldiers alive, and more importantly, the squads they reside in. I can see that Noggano's got some movement here, though. He's starting to do a little bit of a hammer-esque maneuver.
Yeah, needs some, desperate for some fixie-fixies on his Kubel. Very low HP, but, you know, it's done its job, basically. It's taken soaked a load of damage, but not lost any models on manpower bleed for Noggano.
This is the beautiful balance of the Stern Pioneers, though. You want to use them in so many different ways. In this case, they're DPS. They can't do their fixie-fixies, as Ed calls them.
Repairs. Translate from Ed to English.
Riflemen and rear echelons pushed away. Stern Pioneers without a single piece of damage. Meanwhile, look at this bit of... Oh, Kubel dies! Run straight into it!
They were so young!
They were. How he lived.
Oh.
I'm sorry to tell you, Master Bruce, the Kubelwagen, you can't drive it anymore. Oh, here we go. Whilst that happens, the Stern Pioneers obliterate a rifleman. Noggano got it, Ed. He swung south and killed the rifleman, and he's now sitting pretty.
Yeah, I think hashtag worth. If you're going to trade the old King Kubel, may as well get a squad on retreat. So
well, it was a distraction, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it ran into it there, and meanwhile the Stern Pioneers repositioned and mopped him up, quite frankly.
And that's what you constantly got to think about in 1v1. What is my retreat path like? How far from home do I have to run? And that was a hell of a marathon for those riflemen. Didn't make it, though.
The confidence in your own abilities from the Russian here, Ed, as he just throws in the towel in Game 3, knowing he is this kind of player, and he's going to be on OKW as well, by the way. This isn't... It's like Marks or Spencer. This is not just, you know, Tesco's OKW. This is a Noggano OKW. It's one of the best faction player pairings in Company of Heroes series history.
Tesco's finest Panthers.
Indeed.
New range. But yeah, the what I do like about Noggano on OKW though is it just seems to get his army composition so well so early. It doesn't even need Panzer Fusiliers this game. So we might see a game without K-Pen's glorious doctrine with Grand Defensive, but I'd like to see some Luftwaffe for once.
Yeah, they're pretty good, especially in like mid-level games. They have such DPS, but I just think the high-level players find better utility elsewhere, quite frankly.
Yeah, they cost a lot of manpower.
And they bleed a lot as well.
Yeah.
Very costly squad. And now with Obersoldaten being more accessible, they can kind of fulfill that role also.
Yeah, good point, good
Stern
point.
Pioneers doing a good bit of sweeping there in the centre. Lieutenant pushes in. We've had a very... Well, this rifleman's not isolated. He's there with a purpose. He's watching for this Foes Grenadier, and this is engagement management. That's one for the rifleman. We don't even have to look at that anymore, Ed. That's just for the new players out there. That's an engagement won in the east by VonAsten before it even happens. Lieutenant here is trying to stand his ground. He does have an SMG amongst his ranks, but he is pushed away. However, he's nice survival there, and the 50 cal was in great position to survive.
Pressing behind green cover, that was nice flanking maneuver there from one of the double 50 cal already by VonAsten.
It's all about that angle.
He knows no shame. He's going full MG spam.
There would have been 1 foot of one Stern Pioneer outside the green cover there, which gave him the suppressive qualities they needed. Meanwhile, this rifleman has stood his ground against the Foes Grenadier. He didn't even advance, by the way, because he wanted to wait for his friends to help out with their Sturmgewehrs.
Suppressive qualities like working with you and stuff.
Possibly.
Kept in the dungeon all weekend. But yeah, rear echelons pushed off there. They have basically no DPS when they get the Minesweeper. Lucky to get out of there.
Ouch, yes, he has a lot of health on that one soldier, but there is only one. Stuart's on his way. It's quite Highlander there, by the way.
Yeah, Stuart versus Luke's. You know, the age-old matchup. So I think...
Who's going to hit first, Ed? It's actually quite close because the Stuart... It's quicker to build.
Is on the Lukes.
Oh,
come on, Lukes.
Yeah, there we go.
Never fails.
Except when it fails, of course.
Oh, it's so good looking. No. It is a cute little tank, though.
He is, as is the Stuart. I mean, look at that little thing.
As the female player base hopefully increases now with the CoH2 becoming free to play, I think they'll love the cute little tanks.
Yeah, you've got to have the cuteness in the game, and I believe the Stuart certainly brings that.
Yeah.
They got nice minesweeping there. Riflemen forced away by those Stern Gewehrs. MP44s or STG44s, depending on if your Führer's looking or not.
And as you were discussing mid-tier players to top-tier players, definitely a top-tier thing. Look how many sandbags are laid around this map already.
So true.
There's just zero downtime from these squads. As soon as they get into a good position, boom, slap down that green cover. Really well played.
Look at this, he's prepared as well, he's waiting, and the Riflemen are just going to have to pick out another game. Oh, they're going for the Stern Pioneers.
I don't think the rear echelons there have got much juice, but they're still...
No, they're going to be safe. Let's check out what this... Oh, Stuart's going for the Panzer II. Meanwhile, we've got a possibility of a Panzer Faust on its way. Let's have a little look without fog. Oh, yeah, there you go. Jumps out from behind the bushes and gets him.
The old Sidewinder Faust.
It did bend a bit of space-time there, but only a small amount.
90% of the time it works, every time.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah, Faust connecting there. It's going to need to fix that, but with the US mechanic, players new to the game, they can jump out with their vehicle crews and self-repair their vehicles, which gives them a huge advantage over the other allied factions. There you go.
Meanwhile, rear echelon versus the Stern Gewehrs over here. We've had a lot of death there as the Luke's watches on. This Stern Pioneers come out to repair, and we don't of course have much healing in base mechanized pretty much every game at the high level right now.
Yep. And unlike VonAsten in the first game with Claude Inferno, Noggano's locking in that Puma. He's going for the old tried and tested Luke's into Puma. Super sweaty meta, but you know, with everything on the line, you can't blame these folks.
Oh, and I wouldn't. In fact, I'd champion. I want to see this game at its razor's edge. I absolutely encourage it and implore players to exploit the game's tendencies. But sometimes surprise tactics do work in this game.
Yeah.
It isn't always the same old. It's just that this is like, you know, going for a flush or a full house in poker. It's a steady card or hand to play.
I'm still holding out for the triple Kubel strat to be pulled off. But speaking of Kubels, the wreckage, I don't know if it's been soaked up for that extra fuel up at near the top.
What a futuristic armoured car this is. You can see one of these at Bovington, of course, in the south of England.
Mo wheels, mo problems though. You get a puncture on one of them. But yeah, there's a sleek design. I think it's still pretty much, there's a new version of the Puma.
That's exactly right.
I don't know what it got called.
It's
Kitty Cat Sabre maybe.
No, they still use the Puma name.
But yeah, way ahead of its time.
The Bundeswehr is still very proud of its Panzer history and still uses a lot of the same names and some similar designs, very similar designs on the armoured cars even today.
Yeah. And a very liberal term of a reconnaissance unit, because you are driving around with a huge cannon on your vehicle, so I don't know how much reconnaissance that is.
VonAsten's ponderous right now, Ed. He doesn't quite know how to approach this. He's having to wait to rejuvenate his squads and just reposition. Stern Pioneers are just looking for mines, so the Stuart sees that. And see how he recoils, Ed. He's a little bit scared of Noggano right now.
He needs to get like me when I get on a buffet table, you know.
Just go.
You've got to get in there.
Oh yeah, you've got to
be more decisive.
You really have. You have to push your advantages, but also
no mercy.
You can't afford yourself to get too exploited. But look at this capping from Noggano. If you withdraw, Ed, he will continue.
Yep.
Where there's an ebb, there's a flow, and in this case, Noggano's coming on like a riptide.
Double Zook on the lieutenant. Oh, that's new. Oh, and the flame grenade pushing off the rifleman down south. This is an awesome push from Noggano.
It is. Luke's has to be careful from the Russian. No, he's tempting fate there. Stuart's coming in. Stuart's going to try and clear up, in fact. Oh, he's safe. He's safe. The Puma tags in for his light tank buddy.
Was it a debate all along from Noggano using the low HP Lukes?
Oh, no. But the bazookas, the lieutenant could come in for him here. Will he attack round through the smoke? He gets behind a hay bale, should be safe, but exposes his rear at the last second.
The old
Meanwhile, Stern Gewehrs.
No.
Stuart gets it.
Down
there
goes
you go, Lieutenant
Puma.
dies.
Yep. So squad for a light vehicle, I think that's well and truly worth for VonAsten there. He can rebuild riflemen, get them barred up.
Oh,
again.
This Stuart has to be really careful now. Look what's on the retreat path. Got folks here, folks there, folks everywhere. Oh, Oh, he's going to go north. He's going to go north. He has to.
That's
Is it in
swag.
central?
Imagine turning like that in the heat of battle.
No incendiary rounds capable for that machine gun. It's not quite at Veterancy 1 yet. Stuart is an island of resistance now.
Yeah, that Stuart driver definitely
Where's
passed
he
his
gonna
driving
go?
test.
Where is he going to go?
Reverse round
Look at the map,
corner.
by the way. Look at, it's like Pac-Man. Got a first grenade, he sees it, he backs away. This is the best way to cast this, probably. There's one coming around the rear side, and let's jump to him. Oh, he's going to get the Faust off. No, he gets out of there. VonAsten, Houdini.
Ow, has
No,
he
Faust
threaded
locked and
that?
loaded.
No.
Oh,
Sidewinder Faust.
round the
Let's go.
corner. Stuart couldn't make it away, and Pinky the Ghost eats him for breakfast.
That's why Pac-Man's too hard. Stick to CoH2, folks. Oh, rebuilding of the Stuart. Rage rebuild? Or what do you think?
Oh, I think he was getting good utility from it, and look at his fuel count. He's not exactly laughing right now. No major to speak of, and yeah, he's just going to go for the Stuart. I think Noggano is in beast mode at the moment.
He pursued that. The pursuit of Stuart tank happiness was long and hard for Noggano, but he got there in the end.
Like Tommy Lee in The Fugitive. You don't want to jump. Hunted him down for months there.
And the old supply truck back out for Noggano. He is going to finally tech up. So yeah, on the old fuel race for the medium tanks, I think it's going to be Noggano ahead, despite losing the Puma.
Indeed, indeed. This vast, desolate wasteland out there. I'm not talking about Stoke-on-Trent. I'm talking about Crossroads as these two go head to head.
Yeah, it's a glorious map. Usually so hard to get a triple cap, but Nagano's proven me wrong. Brilliant map control in terms of VPs there. Doesn't have his own fuel, but has got the old Wiki rifle cutoff point, denying the fuel enemy from VonAsten there. This second Stuart does feel like a bit of a misplay, though, I must say. I don't know if he's spent the fuel on a major as well, but...
Oh, it's just out in a Faust as well, so it's going to be delayed in its actions.
Yeah.
It's very late. Well, no, it's not, actually. Can you look at the timer, to be fair? I know it's the second Stuart. But then again, Ed, that's fuel he can't tank for anything else
I think
now.
it was a bit of a misplay in terms of... He could have gone captain instead. Oh, which he has done as well. So he's done captain. He's cancelled.
M1 building as well.
Yep. So he's gone
No, he was repairing it.
Yeah, and he's still got both. Okay, so he can get the AT guns now. This might preserve him a bit later on for us.
He's going for the slow game. He's going for support meta. This leaves him open to, of course, the Zufus.
50 cal to the face technique for those Volks. Painful decap there, but they get it off.
In fact, you know, Stuka Zufus would be an incredible unit to deploy at the moment with so many support weapons for USF.
Yep.
Oh, Schwerpanzer headquarters setting up. We've got only one bazooka on that
I'm
squad.
keeping an eye out for shock troops emerging somewhere and gunning it down like that previous game, but yeah, looks like it's just about enough to be safe.
Oh, couldn't get the anti-tank rifle grenade off thanks to lack of munitions, but the Stuart pushes on regardless. Or did he get it off? Yeah, regardless, Stuart punishes and pursues the issue, but Raketenwerfer is waiting. Oh my god, this could go either way, Ed.
AP ammo on the MG as well, hitting the rear armor. Depends if he gets the Faust off. Doesn't need it. Great. Uber long-range shot from that 5-man new Raketen crew with extra range. Beautiful stuff there from
He
Noggano.
had 3 options there in fairness. Raketenwerfer, Faust, incendiary rounds.
Choose the hardest one, thanks. Sit down, kids. This is how it's done.
If I was in Stuart tank driver training school right now, I'd probably, you know, go on
You'd be getting insurance for sure. You'd be loving it.
I'd be getting a headstone sorted out. Again,
yeah,
VonAsten's gone for the mortar. This didn't do well. It's
Late game GG mortar. Just gonna be like, right, Owen Jesus, carry me. I don't know what's going on here, but I need some wipes. But I think one mortar by itself. Yeah, you normally got a double.
Please stop recommending that elite level players go for 2 mortars.
Double
please.
Mortar.
They're good at the game because they can micro the game, unlike us. You know,
You've got PTSD. I beat you with 2 mortars once.
Yeah.
On that, but yeah. So here we go. Final push, maybe for VonAsten to re-secure this middle VP and get some ground back. He's got to drag this into the late game. He's got to almost channel his inner Jove, I think.
Noggano's looking for the Tiger. He's building slowly towards it, of course. Rear echelon in the centre, doing done its duty for the American Empire.
Still Vet 2 King Luke's living it up, taking a hit for the fatherland, but
Smoked out in the centre here. 50 cal can't pursue. The Focus Grenadier is looking for a flank through the smoke as well.
Triple MG though. Oh, the amount of sweat intensifies from VonAsten here. Yeah, I think he just wants 1 MG per VP. Right, lock it down.
It's all he can do, Ed, and that's why I'm touting the Stukazafoos as a way to absolutely finish off this game, because VonAsten has now doubled down with support weapons in a ploy to stabilise the game and buy him time. But 144 victory points and dropping, I don't think he's going to do it quickly enough.
And he needs the major for the tech on the old Pershing as well, so it's a long way off in terms of fuel. This is testament to Noggano's map control, an amazing play. You can get all the 50 cals in the world that you want, but they are quite easily flanked. You know, it's a big wide map.
Certainly.
And Noggano's making full usage of it.
Obersoldotn as well coming out for Noggano, Ed. It's not looking pretty in that sense.
I love the old Obers though, aren't they? They're like the Knights Cross feel of CoH2.
They certainly are, yeah. They've got that elite, annoyed unit vibe. I'm still fighting and I hate you for it.
I just love their Robocop accuracy on the move with the LMG, but he may go STGs, you never know. Such is the Capan Grand Defensive Doctrine. Can lock in the STGs, which are pretty nifty.
And what Ed is referring to there, where it says Capan Grand Defensive Doctrine, is of course a lot of these commanders were community ideas. We've got a lot of participation with the balance and the development of the game these days. The community's really involved, thanks to Relics allowing them to be. And it's just great. It makes great for symbiosis, and we see a lot of interesting new divergent strategies. Luke's pushing in, forcing away that captain with the Browning, forcing him all the way back to base, also giving the Browning issues. And that's VonAsten's problem now. He's trying to stretch himself too thin with support weapons, and he's leaving himself vulnerable.
GG more to go and work on the eastern squad, but on the western side, as we see here, 50 cal not going to make it home. Couldn't get the home run, and we do see STGs on the overs.
We do! Interesting.
It's going to get that anti-infantry going. I think the way they work is the old vampire infrared sights on the STGs basically reduce the cover level of the opposing squads by 1. So, for example, if an enemy squad's in green cover, it'll be treated as orange cover.
Might even not get to see them used at this rate. Double-digit victory point count for VonAsten as the Luke's watches on from the western side, decrews the M1, then gets out of there, a little bit of jab and move. And Noggano's starting to throttle VonAsten's life out of existence at this point to get a bit macabre. But that's what we're seeing happen.
He's playing for his tawny life. I think he needs a second AT gun to prepare himself for a Tiger. He must know the Tiger's coming, seeing STG overs. And he really has to throw the dice now, get all in there, does VonAsten.
He's got a choice, throw the dice or throw the game. He's got to throw everything. or do both.
Just go down throwing either way. You got to try something here.
When the writing's on the wall, you have. When you're pushed into a corner, you've got to act.
Yeah. And you don't want to be 500. You don't want to be aced, do you?
Yeah, but we're saying all this, Ed. He's got 3 machine guns, a mortar, and a machine gun. You can't exactly go crazy with support weapons. Stuka lights them up with smoke and allows the Obers with their STGs to push in and punish them.
Got one last maybe control group, everything A-click move towards opponent base, and then VonAsten does.
Oh,
sneaks home, does the MG. 1 HP is all you need.
Rear Echelon's time to run the gauntlet.
What would you do in this case, though? You've got 50 VPs.
Oh.
You're facing exit of one of the biggest tournaments you're in.
Well, I definitely would be stalling for Pershing, I can say that, but he's got to try to solidify and put a lot more mines on the east side to try and get that central victory point back, and he's just not been allowed to do it by Noggano, who was just too damn strong for VonAsten in this series. He's been an absolute beast as he victory parades smoke down, stopping the support weapons from firing. Top level play.
There. Yeah, and Vet 3 goes to Luke's. Could go all the way to Vet 5.
Well, it won't have time. Only 32 victory points remain.
Yep.
Bundle nade thrown doesn't do much. Ober's pushed away by victorious Rifleman. Meanwhile, in the centre, the 50 cal's trying to take the cap, but it can't do it because the Stern Pioneers are there.
There we go, with that narrow arc of fire for the 50 cal compared to other MGs, easily flanked by the Stern Pioneers. Good play from Noggano. I think VonAsten's just... He's going to have to get desperate here.
salvaging the wreckage as well. Noggano just doing everything possible to just destroy VonAsten in this game.
Here we go. Here's the old smoke and poke. Smoke with the mortar and poke up with the infantry behind. Grab the middle here. Yep.
Nice
Good
work.
play, good play.
He's also taken the southern victory point, Ed.
Ooh.
This is the stabilisation we wanted.
That old 10 VP comeback, man.
10 indeed.